much, Jen. One on Afghans that helped the United States and helped U.S.-funded NGOs and contractors. Is there any estimate on how many may be left behind?
Well, I think, Yamish, what we're working through right now is how many left behind who have applied for programs, or
how many may be left behind after the deadline?
Well, I would say first, Yamish, that I just want to make sure I understood your question, that our commitment to working with not just any American citizen who has not yet decided to leave, but others who stood by our side, fought by our side, that's enduring. That will continue. That is one of the reasons why our Secretary of State has been so focused on working with international partners, assuring that there was this statement by 100 countries out there sending a clear message. I had also noted earlier the statement by the Taliban about safe passage, and why we're working through what the mechanisms and modes will be for our diplomatic presence, even as we're not anticipating having one directly on the ground after the first.
If there's no number, it seems maybe that you're not going to get into. I wonder.
Well, I think the difficulty of getting to a number, Dumish, is that there may be people who haven't even applied yet. So we can't count those people. If they're eligible, then and they want to depart, we'll work with them.
And related to that, what is the president's message to veterans who are feeling even hurt, or maybe a bit embarrassed? People that I've talked to who say that they feel like there are people who helped them, who even in some cases saved their lives, who are now being left behind after the deadline, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. What's the message? What's the message from the president to these veterans?
Well, first, we've been closely engaged with a range of veterans groups because we're grateful, of course, for their service and also for their advocacy for so many of these brave translators, interpreters, and others, tens of thousands of whom we've evacuated. But you're right, there could be some that are still there who may not have applied or have not been able to depart the country yet. Our message to them would be, we remain committed. These are our partners. These are our allies who have courageously stood by our side for the last 20 years. That's why we're so focused on ensuring we have means and mechanisms of having diplomats on the ground being able to continue to process applicants and facilitate the passage of other people who want to leave Afghanistan.
On the hurricane, Louisiana is going to see highs of 80s. There are reports of no water, no power. What's the plan to get to people who may not have cell phone servers, who may not have access to the internet, who are stuck in their homes, given the circumstances that they may be dealing with?
Well, this is why I did such an extensive laydown in the beginning, because as you know, it's not just one thing, right? We are working with companies who to get the power back on. That could take weeks. We don't know. We have also preemptively had set up a range of resources, food, water, and other resources that we can get to people on the ground. And we have deployed in across government entities and resources, whether it's from FEMA to the Health and Human Services, to the Coast Guard, to get out to communities, to save lives, to recover, to get people to food, water, and assistance that they need. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay, last one. You got under Darlene's, thumb there.
Thank you. Two quick ones. The Washington Post reports that the Taliban offered to stay out of Kabul and let the United States forces secure the city. We told them that we only needed the airport. Is that reporting accurate?
I have not seen this reporting. I'd have to look at it.
And then a moment ago, you said that some of the reporting about the United States giving lists of the names of Afghans or SIV or Americans to the Taliban was inaccurate at times and misconstrued. I'm wondering if you can just clarify a little bit more, because last week the president said that there had sometimes been instances where maybe a bus is coming through and some names have been given, but then he also added that I can't tell you with any certitude that there's actually been a list of names. There may have been, but I know no circumstance.
I think that's entirely consistent with what I just said, or several minutes ago. What I was conveying is that reports or suggestions that we were giving a preemptive, proactive list of Afghans or any individuals who wanted to leave the country to the Taliban are inaccurate. And what the president said, and what I also said, maybe in slightly different phrasing, is that there could be cases where on the ground, commanders who are coordinating with the Taliban to get people through checkpoints, to save their lives, get them evacuated, were saying, here's individuals we need to get through. And in any case that we're aware of, those individuals got through. But again, this is coordination that's happening on the ground. And I think we can all agree there's a big difference between providing a list of people who want to depart proactively and working at the moment on the ground in a coordinated, tactical way to get people out and evacuate and save their lives.
Prudential, on the ground decision rather than a general massive list.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. Or I'll be here. Thank you, everyone.